Do you struggle with your chipping? We get short of the green, heart rate starts to go, we don't know how to actually get this ball in the green. I teach many people who fall into this category, so don't worry if that is you. By the end of this video, after trying one of these 3 drills, I guarantee you'll be able to fix your chipping. So in today's video, we're going to talk through 3 of my favourite all-time chipping drills that I use every single week during lessons. So let's start off with my first one, the one-handed chipping drill. I like this one because you can get the bounce of the golf club working into the ground. You also get a feeling of being able to use the weight of this club naturally, rather than most of us stand there and we try and lift it, we try and scoop it, we try and add a lot of speed, and we don't match our swing up. So before we get into the one-handed drill, we've then got the wedge drill and we've then got the tight turf drill, these 3. I want to first just talk over setup. I think it's important that we just get this right. I know we do it in most short game videos, but we do it because it is vitally important. So we want a ball position, which is just to the back of our zip line here, okay? From there, I want you to feel like you're gonna open your stance up, weight goes a little bit left, and we keep about 65 to 70% of our weight on our left throughout this whole motion. And if you think about why, this anchors our low point just ahead of the golf ball. So that's just a simple way of gripping and setting up to the golf club. The final thing I would note is, so you got our grip here where we put our hands. Let's make sure we split it evenly, top and bottom. Okay. Now, a lot of you might be watching this right now and thinking, well, Alex, that's not much different to what I usually do, but I still find it hard. Well, what I would really recommend, I've seen this so many times. So imagine we're at home now and you're in front of a mirror in the bedroom, or you're in front of your patio doors in the back garden. Just actually set yourself up and move your weight left and actually just see, is your weight left? Because I see with a lot of people, they feel they're set up correctly, but in reality, they are not, okay? So get this right. So the first drill now is our one-handed drill, and it's really nice and simple because we see Tiger do this all the time with his putting, we see Tiger do this with his chipping, we also see John Daly being a big fan of this, and Phil Mickelson. Well, all those 3 had a pretty decent short game in their pomp, didn't they? And one of them still has. So grab the golf club in your trail hand, and I would grip it so I cover up the logo of the lambkin, okay? Left hand under right elbow, and just make some swings. And you'll notice here that your golf club starts to move nice and naturally around the body. It doesn't work out, doesn't work too inside. We start to set it nicely because we can't fight the weight of the golf club now. Now, we put both hands on, we all get this tendency of wanting to fight the weight of this golf club. So that's why the one-handed drill is one of my favourite. So have a few practice swings, hook it under, chip a few away, and get the feeling of that real nice brush of the ground, that click, and that chip away. And even if that was two-handed, I'd be very happy with that. Absolutely, extremely happy with that. So building this into a little bit of a practice session for you, I want you to hit 3 away every time you do some chipping, 2 with it underneath, just getting a feeling, back, through, just feeling that we can get the club releasing. And for a lot of you, it'll be a little bit of a eureka moment. Feel like it's less technical, more about the noise on the ground, more about the click, as opposed to actually thinking, where have I got to put my hands in this motion? So remember, we're looking at 3 of my favourites today, so make sure you watch them all. There's a PDF guide that you can download as well, and you can basically try all 3 and see which one works best for you. Let's get in those comments as well. How many times, or roughly, what is your make percentage up and downs? How many times are missing the green? How many times are we getting this up and down? Let's chip this one away. Let's hope now we get it closer than my 2 one-handed ones. It's a little bit up the left wing here. Oh, I got scared of feeling that slope was in the way. Okay, let's have a wander up to the back of this green, and I'm going to change my wedge. I'm going to take now my most lofted club, because this is my tight turf test drill. It's so hard, isn't it, to chip off that tight turf, and we would never really chip off that fringe. We would probably put, and I would definitely advise that putting there. But if we can learn to chip off that tight turf, when it's sat up like a coconut, like I just had it then, it feels so much easier. Not quite done it. Not quite done it here, everybody. I mean, I'd be absolutely ecstatic with them both, don't get me wrong. Okay, so we're going to just go a few steps back there, and we'll do the tight turf drill. So the way I think about what we're doing now is I actually use this as a progression during a lesson from that one-handed drill. I get someone on the side of the green like this on the chipping area and get them chipping towards the flag, because straight away this strikes fear. Now remember, we wouldn't do this on the course, we'd definitely get our putter out here, but it's about being able to make a contact with a high lofted club off a tight turf. There is no better little bit of a nip feeling. So this is drill 2, and it's sort of a step up from drill 1. So if you found drill 1 hard, try it from numerous locations and then come on to drill 2. Get a feeling of that bounce working, really concentrating on that brush of the ground, and then we can stand in, feel it, back and through. A little bit heavy that. It still strikes fear in me every time that I do this. And you've got to be so precise. So then we get it teed up on this stuff here, we feel easy. It's sort of like a bit of a perception drill, and I would recommend doing this before going out on the golf course. I really would. You can strike it off here, you can strike it off anywhere. That was beautiful. Got to be so perfect. But on the other note, if we are using the bounce correctly, we can sort of get a good duffed one, like I did that first one. I remember having lessons when I was younger, and one of the coaches at the time said to me, if you can duff it well when you're chipping, you're going to be a good chipper, because what he was referring to, the back edge of this club, the bounce was doing your work, rather than if you get the leading edge doing your work, you can duff it badly there. Okay, drill 2. I mean, we look like a good chipper now, don't we? These are really good. Oh, not quite as good. But you can see how much spin comes off this. So the first drill and the second drill are all about activating this bounce, getting less technical. One-handed drill, get the feeling of the weight of the club doing your work, take it to the next stage and doing it on this tight turf. It's now time to go on to the final part here, which is another favourite of mine. It's about learning to hit down on the ball with a wedge, with a chip, as opposed to scooping it up in the air, which I know is a massive pitfall for you. Let's now move on to our final drill here, and we've got 3 different options for you. Towel, alignment stick, Wedge Pro. Now, what I want you to understand is this is a great way of learning to hit down on the golf ball when chipping. Now this comes with a caveat. I don't want you to start digging into the ground. I still want you to feel like we're bruising the ground, but hitting down on the ball. So if we come over here, and you can see how I've set this up here, roughly my size 7.5 shoe away from the back of the towel. So if you come round to this side, you'll be able to see roughly where to place this. And the reason why I've shown you all these different 3 options is we've probably got one of these in our bag, we've probably got one of these, but we haven't got probably the Wedge Pro. So we can just stand here, hit some chips away with that towel just behind, getting a real feeling of hitting down and bruising, not back foot and scooping. So this 3 here is really our final drill all in one, but sort of 3 different options. So you can see that I hit down on that. Oh, sorry, got really excited there. But I still had a bit of a bruise of the ground, not digging in. Don't stand here, dig in. We're not looking for that motion. We're still looking bruise of the ground. So if you feel like that's a hard thing to do, remember, go back to our setup, wait a little bit left, and just get the feeling of brushing that ground, then walk in, then chip away. And you'll start to really get a great feeling for contact. I would actually use all three of these during a lesson, mix it up, use different clubs from different scenarios, and by the end of that session you'll feel so much more confident in order to put some speed down at the bottom with short game. Okay, final one here, then I just want to talk to you about a rule to use when out on the golf course. Okay, so I'm going to take 3 different clubs with me here. Let's talk through some scenarios. So if we were just here and we were going all the way to that flag, if you can put it, let's put it. We would definitely put from here, okay? If I was then a step further back, I would then go with my 7-iron or 8-iron or maybe even 9-iron, chip and run shot. Last resort, I would go aerial. So aerial shots are for when I've got to go over a mound, when I've not got much room between the flag and the fringe, when I've got to go over a bunker. Use that ball to get it rolling as quick as we can, because that's going to be the shot that we find is going to be the highest percentage. I'm never going to put it as far away as I would chip it, and I'm not going to chip and run it, hopefully, as far away as I would use this club. So get around the short game area, or even sneak out in the golf course if you can. Test different shots from different scenarios and really improve your short game. So there we go, 3 of my favourite short game drills to help you strike your chips. Thanks for watching.